Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Today we'll be playing some more of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last we left off, we met a bunch of new characters. Well, to be exact, we met 3 new ones: the waiter, the old man, and the soldier. And the soldier, I'd say, is the weirdest one of the 3, but the old man is not too far behind. For some reason, the sergeant soldier guy has a baby strapped onto his back, and that's really super weird, especially given how nobody really acknowledges that outside of Ryunosuke, so it's a bit strange. Kazuma's been helping us out big time. Oddly enough, I feel like we're not even getting very close to the end of the case here. Usually with the first cases, they tend to be really short, especially the first game's first case was incredibly short. The second game's first case was relatively short as well, but this one seems to be on the longer side of things, so I guess we'll see just how long it goes on for. As far as the main suspect goes, I don't really have anyone in mind right now because I really don't know how the crime was committed. There is still a lot of uncertainty surrounding that because we don't really have any reliable information because all the witnesses thus far have been pretty unreliable. But the old man is about to testify, so I guess we'll see what he has to say. Maybe it's gonna be something super duper incriminating, as maybe not incriminating to him. Maybe it's not gonna put him in the spotlight, but it might put somebody else in the spotlight, like the waiter. I think there's gonna be some more to do with him because of the whole business card and the outline of the restaurant. Maybe the woman is gonna testify as well, if she's even gonna be at the trial today. I have no clue, but I guess let's just jump in and see what happens. Alrighty, okay, here we are, the true culprit. What do you have to say? Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was the young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Oh, what about the waiter? Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Where was the woman that Ryunosuke mentioned then? Therefore, no one other than the black uniform could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Okay. Did I not see the woman at the table either? Yes! Maybe she left or hid or something. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, oh, how do I do his voice? I forget. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her? Everyone there must have seen her. Objection! Maybe they're all being, like, paid to keep shut. If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. Ugh. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Well, oh, okay. Is that a photograph we haven't seen? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Counsel?
What is off about this here? Let's see, I don't really see anything off. Maybe it's a different table? Indeed, of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this. Is there anything off? The fork is there, the glass is there. No, the bottle is there. I guess the knife is in frame. I don't think there's anything off, is there? As can plainly be seen, there's only one playset.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
Maybe they were not eating? Ugh, this doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
Photographic print. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. I think there's something fishy. I think everyone has seen that woman and everyone knows, but they're all just lying.
It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all.
Come on, man.
The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Is that Kazuma? It is. Okay. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now's your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma.
The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood?
Yeah, or else can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Okay, I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary when they were speaking. Okay, let's quickly take a look at everything, then we'll press on the most suspicious. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment, it's almost the same thing. It's not, but sure. The foreign man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see. A visual search of the premises confirmed we were the only personnel present. I guess we can press on that for the waiter. Indeed, alone he was, dining by himself. Therefore, no one other than the cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Okay. Let's go back. Oh, oops. Which one should we press on first? Let's do this one first. I'm curious as to what the waiter was doing. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Ugh. If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect.
Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat.
Why are you contributing to this conversation? And okay, whatever, Judge.
I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. Oh, there was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. Oh. It will seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hada Clinic. Oh, Dr. Hada. Yes, from the second game. So Hada Clinic makes an appearance again.
Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m.
The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. Prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. Ooh. I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I want to see the report. Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Of course. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report? Yes, of course. Better not. Why would we not want it submitted? If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? Come on, just do it, man, just do it. The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Ooh, maybe someone followed him. Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. Let's go, Kazuma. Help us saving us again. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for submission of evidence.
Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Of course. Just let us do our job, please.
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical record to the court record.
Victim's medical report card. Okay, let's look at it. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they just don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival all ready for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. That's BS. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korekuta-san. Oh, okay, they're just going at it again. I want to look at the record here. Can I... Oh, can I actually look at it? It doesn't look like I can examine it. Weird. Okay. Weird. Okay. He was by himself. Sure. Therefore, no one could have dispatched the Englishman. Okay. Let's go all the way to the start. I guess let's just press on everything, see what we get.
Yes!
I think we pressed on a good, on a good statement the first time, so. No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun.
We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet.
I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. We couldn't see because you wear glasses. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is undeniable fact that I did blink. No, maybe you didn't blink. So there you have it. Wow, what a sound and solid argument, Ouchie. You are so good at your job. Have what?
Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears, and the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman.
I think that says it all. Don't you?
No.
And let us not forget that the antique dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so? Korekuta-san? I think that's what we have to push on, I guess. Or maybe that just leads into what he says now. He was, that much I saw. Let's see. Yes! Sure, let's push on that, see what he says. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time, but I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor. Yeah, well, obviously, as a culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I had just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up, and at exactly that moment, bang! I wonder if whoever it was waiting for somebody to pick up the gun to shoot Dr. Wilson, or if it was just coincidence. And we don't even know where that gun even came from. Was that Dr. Wilson's gun? A gunshot rang in my ears.
Full of events and beyond our control, lifers.
Sorry, what do you mean?
In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the carbon from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result.
Okay, whatever, old man.
Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner.
I don't remember what voice I gave to the old man. That's also another one I've just forgotten. Visual search of the premises. Yeah, we know this. Okay, let's look at our evidence. What can we even present here? Okay, I'm just looking at the steak, and it looks like it's been eaten some more in the second photo, or am I just crazy? Like, if you're looking at the steak here in this photo, it looks like you can see it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see 5 squares on here. When you look at this one, there's only 4. So somebody must have eaten the steak after the fact. Right? Why is that a thing though? That's so bizarre. Is this, and the glass, you can see a bit of carbonated water in it, I guess. But when you look at this photo, you can't really see any of that. It just looks like it's a different table altogether. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just an inconsistency, or maybe it is an actual clue, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but that's just something odd that I noticed about these two photos. I'm not sure if that's like significant or not, but maybe it is. Alright, let's push on this. He was dining by himself. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
And I did. Forgive me for my position I placed you in.
Oh, okay.
So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well.
Not really.
This can clearly be seen. There is only a single beef stick on the victim's table, a meal for one.
I don't know. No.
The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying.
Yeah. The woman must have paid him off or something.
But if so, then why? If I'm
perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Therefore, no one other than the Black Cadet, blah blah blah.
Let's push on this too. Why aren't you telling the truth?
What? What did you say, Cadet?
I clearly remember there was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible.
Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's just a case of these 2 witnesses alone.
It's not. Sorry?
The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right.
Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof.
We don't really have any.
And if no such proof exists...
Wait, can I look at the... I really cannot look at the court record. Are you serious? Is there anything interesting here that might give us a clue? I don't think so. But yes, Nosa. He was serving there on the day. Ah, yeah, nothing there.
The prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that. Yeah, I mean, from their point of view, it's all just a bunch of nonsense.
Kazuma, help us. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now.
Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light.
I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail.
That's what I've been trying to do! How exactly?
You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press X and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use blah blah blah, the right stick,
Oh, there might be something on the backside, I guess.
to rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using the left stick,
I guess you can zoom in and stuff.
you can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before.
Okay, I'll do it.
The crosshairs start to pulsate. Press X to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use it. I get it. I didn't forget. Alright, so let's look at the back first. Is there anything? Dentist, okay, I'll just click on it anyway. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago.
It's probably a record of long-term treatment, that's why. With a family doctor, I imagine.
Well, I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. That's very smart of you, Ryunosuke. I can tell you're a very bright young man.
Well, if you're dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then?
Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections. Yeah, they're awful. You should never trust them. And then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb.
You sound like a model patient.
Yeah.
With a bad case of stubbornness, no less. For which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed.
Okay, so there was nothing really significant about that. Is there something inside? Yes, there is. Okay. I'll just take a look at one. I guess I'll just examine all of them.
Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so, just before the incident. He had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
Okay, I've never heard of the laughing gas. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there is anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Is that what they call anesthesia? Laughing gas. Never heard of that before.
Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed.
Interesting. Okay, so somebody has eaten the steak. Clearly, and it was not the professor. Really?
Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's very, very crucial. Okay. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes.
So, I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you?
Definitely. Okay, I guess I didn't really have to examine the front of the medical record. Okay. I don't know which statement it was. He wasn't that much else. I did see. We were the only personnel present. He was dining all by himself. He was not dining. Therefore, no one could have dispatched. Okay, yeah. So we have to refute this statement right here with this right here.
Yes!
Excuse me, can I say something? Well, I think,
About what are you muttering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
we are not really a lawyer. Come on, let go of that, please. I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused.
Ryunosuke, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
I do it all the time, Ryunosuke. It's fine. Even reading the sentence, I stumbled on my words. So it's very common. Don't worry about it, buddy. Thanks, Kazuma.
I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say.
Oh,
Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
yeah, especially if it's like for refuting a very clearly obvious lie or a contradiction. Alright, and thanks for the advice. Breathe in, breathe out, my son. Korekuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see, and I don't see what of it, boy.
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. That was a weak-ass slam, buddy. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But,
Let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand.
dude, Ouchie is a jerk.
It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
It's not. Just let us explain ourselves, please, you douche. But that's just some...
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could have possibly...
Dang, this guy talks a lot and he just repeats himself over and over again. Ouchie, can you just shut up for 2 seconds? This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that?
Oh, what? That outburst, how petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be irrelevant?
Dang, he's cracking under pressure there. Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted?
Oh, watch this now?
And furthermore... Ooh, look at that confidence. If I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Take that, Ouchie. And Nosa and... Old man, I forget your last name.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet?
He had orders not to eat. So what? It's all written in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that I can't.
Korekuta-san,
What, boy? What?
as you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Why would he order food when he cannot eat it? So you, all of you bastards, have been lying through your teeth. But why? Because the victim, as we know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. The music kicks in at the right moment.
Expertly done, partner.
Damn, that was really, like, badass, dude. That was so well delivered.
What is this nonsense, you little upstart?
Come on.
These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence.
Yeah, the steak is clearly somebody has eaten it, so there must have been somebody at the table.
You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Yeah.
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic, you dumbass?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant, Case, have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke?
Oh, yes, most definitely.
So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel.
Sure. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of.
Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been me. It was me all along. An as yet unknown third party. Obviously that. The two witnesses know, the victim himself know. It's just the third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objected! You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Obviously there was.
Yes!
That's why we're not letting it go. There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else eating there.
Oh.
We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial.
Relentlessly, Kazuma, big time badass. He's just really fighting for us right now. Kazuma,
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
I mean, justice prevails, doesn't it?
don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand.
What?
What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
And the waiter too.
Perjury.
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Complicit in murder? No!
Damn, Kazuma. Putting them on.
Negative. There was no mention of this at the technical meeting. I was just following orders.
Ooh.
And that's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us.
Who? Who?
Oh.
Old man spills the beans. What? What did you just say, Korekuta-san?
No.
You were just following orders from who?
No, now hold on, lad. I was just
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas?
What?
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, your pair?
Oh no. Oh, the old man, Korekuta, is just, he's a funny looking man. That's all I gotta say.
Just one simple slip of the tongue.
Yeah, they were definitely paid off.
Order. Council, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Who? Ouchie?
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
I think it's the woman herself, right? Then who's behind this? Who tried to keep your mouths shut?
Oh, well,
Well, I guess we'll just have to find out next episode, don't we? Oh my god, the baby's just tugging on Nosa's mustache there. That's honestly really funny. The baby's freaking out too. But yeah, we're gonna have to find out in the next episode just who it was. Obviously, I think it was the woman herself who kind of, I guess, paid him off and was like, keep your mouth shut, lie, this is what you gotta do. I still think it's probably her who was the culprit, right? And not the waiter. I don't think it's either of these guys, obviously, because there was a third party who told them to lie about what actually happened. I don't know why the gun was still involved though. Maybe they were trying to frame Kazuma, but Kazuma left and they instead framed Ryunosuke. I guess that would make sense, but still, why was Ryunosuke the target, you know? It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.